Hi, welcome back to Haute and Gray. Thank you, my darlings, for returning. I want to give a big shout out to Valerie, one of my coworkers, who is a really beautiful individual, and she was so sweet the other day. She went through all my videos and pressed like. So please, if you feel generous, do the same if you find this amusing or informational. And so press that little like button and please subscribe so you can see all the crazy things that I do. Today I wanted to talk about trickle-down. Trickle-down theory is that fashion was obviously started by rich people. They wanted only the best. They wanted beautiful fabrics, and pearls and gems, and just, surround themselves with amazing luxury from around the world once everybody started traveling and bringing back, these goodies from the spice routes and all the new areas of the world. And so they had they really did have the most amazing, just over the top, resources and creations, the designs and the fabrics. And, of course the Met Museum has the fashion museum showing these collections, and it's really something to look at. And even if you go back further in history, go looking through cultures and the materials that they were using, the designs that they were using, it started off, as you know, is a utilitarian piece of armor to protect oneself from weather, to protect oneself from the wars and issues that human beings had from the very beginning of time. So I just wanted to explain how I feel that fashion is art. And so where did we get these designs? Well, it's from art. These designers are artists, and they have something to say. So we have artists who are noticing the world and bringing that to their work and bringing that to our attention. Some artists want to tell you what their thoughts are and what the meaning is. Some artists don't. They want you to look at it and recognize the DNA that is there, so that the interpretation can be multifold. We look at these pieces of art and we're inspired, hopefully, and intrigued. How did they do this? What was the process? Look how beautiful that is. And so what happens is that very artistic people, creative people who are seeing these pieces of art have a deep appreciation and walk away from this inspiration with ideas of their own that they want to share. Some of those people happen to be fashion designers. Some of those people just interpret it into their own life. I think a big portion of the music population is normally very inspired by pieces of art and interpret that, and they start wearing what they're feeling from this piece of art. And so you'll see what we call streetwear. And, that's one of the first places we visualize this is we see these people who are wearing something very different, or they have pink hair or a mohawk or, spikes and, anything that might look different that the mainstream of society doesn't like or is concerned with. And until they start looking at it over and over and over again, they're not comfortable with it because it's different. But the fashion designers are seeing it and they're going, oh, that's amazing, how lovely, how interesting. Streetwear fashion designers, they're also looking at society and they're taking a good look. And I think Jean Paul Gaultier is a very good example of looking at cultures and honoring them and recreating them for runway and actually for pieces that we wear. And there's so many other designers that do it too. I mean, the new Marc Jacobs 22-23 season is cray-cray, and it has such a deep meaning to it. I haven't seen this from him as deeply as this, and I love it. I'm like digging it. It's like, yeah, bring it. Let's hear it. And so it is an interpretation once again. So once we see it on the runway, and what you see on the runway is going to be ordered by 100 people. Couture, handmade for that person. Chanel is darling, and they will send people out to measure, go back, make it, bring it back for fitting, or the person has to go there for fitting. And that's couture. It's handmade. Pret-a-porter, on the other hand, is I don't want to say mass-produced, because it is a much lower number introduced into the fashion system. And but you have pret-a-porter, which is ready to wear, which is already made. You don't have to have it custom made, which is so much money. But we see that on the red carpet a lot of times, and they're just beautiful pieces that might be a collab between the star and designer, or just simply, a design off the runway. But luckily for some of us, we can go into the stores and purchase. And then we trickle down to what's called high street, is what they call it now. Back in my day, we didn't call it anything. It was department stores mainly. And then in the 60s and 70s, we started having these groovy boutiques pop up that would carry this streetwear type of item. But of course, those designs were much more radical to put in a department store. Now we get high street, horrible fabrics, and terrible tailoring, and the stuff fell apart immediately, but it was cheap, and we didn't know about the cheap labor practices, and we didn't know about the chemicals that they were using. So that's a problem going into fast fashion. And so now we have the explosion of social media. Badly designed items that might look good at the moment and be trendy, but gone the next season. That's, at the time, there was there were maybe 5 collections of a year when I started in the fashion industry. And so of course we've gone forward and forward and forward, and now there's freaking 10, 12 seasons that these design houses can produce. And think about that. Think about all the people that are just wearing this for trend, to look cool. Great, love it. But they're wearing these horrible fabrics, this terrible tailoring, and they may throw it out, they may donate it, but where's it going? If it's not being used, it's going to the landfill. That's where it's going. And that is where we are today, with the number 2 polluter being fashion in the world. So that brings me to my purpose in life, my heart, my soul. At a thrift store, at a vintage boutique, especially I love estate sales, and I am wearing it to the very end of its beautiful life. But I'm telling you, I haven't gotten rid of stuff for a long time. And if I do, I sell it on the pre-loved market, and I feel like I'm giving it to somebody who can have something fun, something historical, and we're getting more use out of this hopefully gorgeous, well-tailored, beautiful fabric item. I have discovered that saving a little extra money and buying beautiful fabrics, beautiful tailoring. Take a look at how these things are made. Is it well made? Are the clasps of I can't say that. Are the clasps of the jewelry piece holding in that pearl or that crystal or that gem, so it's not going to fall out? Or is it just cheaply made and it's like this, barely gripping that thing, and it's going to fall out like within days? Let's look at those things, and I want you to have the most beautiful wardrobe, and look and feel gorgeous, because you all are. Gosh, your faces and your hair look so fabulous. Clothes, even if it's a t-shirt, let's look to see how long this thing is going to last, and it's not going to fall apart on you in a month. And let's also think about, do we really need to get rid of this thing after the trend? Okay, and I got my glasses, I got my Vivienne Westwood, I got my crazy Moffat pants on, my patchwork jeans, and that's created me. I'm me now because of all these things. So let's create you. Well, let's get you to a really beautiful place. So I hope I haven't harped on this too much, but that's trickle down. And the issue with trickle down is, let's watch the bottom of trickle down. And the bottom of trickle down is fast fashion. And I want you to go from the top, haute couture, and I want you to go down, and I want you to look at everything, and I want you to choose fabrics that are going to last a long time and be tailored and fit you perfectly, so that you can keep them and express yourself for many years and show your beautifulness. Okay, so that's it from Hot Pink Gray, and I thank you so much, my darlings, for joining me today. I got more stuff to talk about, so we'll be talking about that soon. a little teaser. Okay, all right guys,